When you think of Barbados, you might imagine sandy beaches and a Rihanna song playing in the background. But trust me, the island's history is more dramatic than a season finale of your favorite series. From indigenous roots and colonial drama to becoming a self-governing beacon of the Caribbean, Barbados's journey could give Netflix a run for its money. Before we plunge into the ocean of stories that make up Barbados's past and present, let's sketch out the map of our historical treasure hunt. Before the Europeans turned up with their flags and fever for expansion, Barbados was home to the Arawak and Carib people. These early inhabitants enjoyed a life tuned to the rhythms of nature, fishing in turquoise waters and growing crops in the rich, fertile soil. Unfortunately, like many indigenous tales, the arrival of Europeans marked the beginning of the end for these native communities. Their populations were decimated by disease, violence, and displacement, a somber prelude to the island's colonial saga. Today, traces of these indigenous cultures linger in Barbadian customs and archaeological sites, reminding us of the island's original custodians. It's like finding ancient WhatsApp messages buried in your backyard, revealing who partied there before you. In 1625, the English ship Olive Blossom landed, and Barbados got its entry stamp into the colonial travelogue. The island was quickly claimed for King James I, and thus began several centuries of British rule. Initially, tobacco and cotton were the cash crops, but soon a sweeter king would take the throne: sugar. The introduction of sugarcane transformed Barbados. Plantations sprouted up faster than mushrooms in a damp forest, setting the stage for an economy reliant on slave labor. This period marked the beginning of a dark chapter in the island's history, characterized by oppression and the struggle for control. As we peel back the layers of history, we see how these early decisions and conflicts set the stage for the island's future developments, both good and bad. It's like deciding to binge-watch a series all night. The consequences will unfold for days. Sugar and rum might sound like the ingredients for a party, but in colonial Barbados, they were the pillars of a booming economy built on the backs of enslaved Africans. The plantations were not just fields of cane, but epicenters of brutal exploitation and human suffering. Despite the harsh conditions, these plantations were incredibly profitable, making Barbados one of England's most valuable colonies. This wealth, however, was soaked in the sweat and blood of slaves, a moral price that was conveniently overlooked by the colonial powers. The social fabric of Barbados was woven tightly around this sugar economy, creating a landscape marked by extreme wealth disparities and social tensions. It's a classic case of economic gain versus human cost, a theme as old as time and as fresh as tomorrow's headlines. Rebellion and resistance, the path to emancipation. Not ones to be sidelined in their own story, the enslaved people of Barbados were active agents in their quest for freedom. The 1816 Busa's Rebellion, led by an enslaved man named Busa, is the most famous. Though the rebellion was ultimately crushed, it sparked a fire that would not be extinguished. The global abolitionist movement began to gain traction, and the moral and economic arguments against slavery intensified. By 1834, the Slavery Abolition Act was passed, marking the end of slavery across the British Empire, Barbados included. The road to true freedom and equality was long and fraught, but these rebellions were crucial in breaking the chains of enslavement. They remind us that the desire for freedom is a powerful force, capable of changing the course of history. Post-emancipation struggles and triumphs. Emancipation was a monumental victory, but it wasn't a magical fix. Freed individuals faced immense challenges, from finding work to forging a new social identity free from the shackles of slavery. Out of these struggles, a unique Barbadian identity began to crystallize, infused with resilience and a fierce desire for progress. Figures like Samuel Jackman Prescott, the first person of African descent elected to the Barbados Parliament, emerged as leaders, guiding the island towards a more equitable future. This period was a testament to the fact that freedom is not just about breaking chains, but about what you build with the pieces. It's about crafting a narrative of empowerment and progress, one step at a time. The road to independence. Fast forward to the 20th century, and the winds of change were blowing across Barbados. The island nation, armed with a robust sense of identity and purpose, began to chafe under British colonial rule. The journey to independence was spearheaded by figures like Errol Barrow, who envisioned a Barbados governed by Barbadians. On November 30th, 1966, Barbados officially became an independent nation. This wasn't just a change of flags, it was a profound transformation in national consciousness, a reclamation of autonomy and self-determination. Independence was the island taking the mic and announcing, "We will write our own story, thank you very much." It was a bold declaration of arrival on the world stage, not just as a former colony, but as a proud, self-sustaining country. Modern Barbados, island of innovation. Post-independence, Barbados didn't just rest on its laurels. The island pivoted from a sugar-dominated economy to one diversified into manufacturing, tourism, and financial services. Education became a top priority, resulting in a highly literate population ready to tackle the challenges of the 21st century. Technology and innovation began to play a crucial role, with Barbados positioning itself as a leader in renewable energy within the Caribbean. This small island was thinking big, proving that size isn't everything when it comes to impact. In the modern global village, Barbados stands as a testament to what can be achieved with vision and resilience. It's like Barbados is telling the world, watch what we can do, and frankly, the world is watching and taking notes. If culture is the soul of a nation, then Barbados is alive with a vibrant soul. A blend of African, British, and Caribbean influences creates a rich cultural tapestry that is expressed in its music, art, and food. Calypso and soca music, with their infectious rhythms, narrate the island's history and celebrate its culture. Barbadian art, from fine paintings to crafts, reflects the natural beauty and the resilient spirit of its people. And let's not forget the food, a delicious mix of seafood, spices, and rum that tells the story of the island in every bite. This cultural richness is not just for local consumption, it's an export that shares the Barbadian story with the world. It's like every song, every piece of art, and every dish is a letter from Barbados inviting you to read, see, and taste its history. As a small island, Barbados faces unique environmental challenges, particularly from the global threat of climate change. Rising sea levels and increased hurricane activity are stark realities for Barbadians, but they're not just sitting ducks. The island has become a leader in implementing sustainability initiatives, from extensive solar power use to progressive green policies. Barbados is not just adapting, it's setting an example for how small nations can take big steps towards sustainability. This proactive approach to environmental issues reflects a broader philosophy in Barbados. Challenges are just opportunities in disguise. It's about not just surviving, but thriving and showing the world how it's done. Barbados may be small, but its voice on the international stage is anything but. The island's diplomatic efforts are robust, engaging with global powers and playing an active role in international organizations like the United Nations and the Caribbean Community, or CARICOM. The Barbadian diaspora spread across the globe continues to influence international perspectives on trade, culture, and policy. From diplomats to artists, Barbadians are global citizens, making waves far beyond their shores. This global presence is a reminder that in today's interconnected world, the size of a country does not determine the scope of its influence. Barbados punches well above its weight, proving that it's not just where you're from, it's what you do that counts. If you've ever dreamed of crystal clear waters and sun-soaked beaches, chances are Barbados was on your mind. Tourism is a vital industry for the island, drawing visitors from around the globe eager to experience its natural beauty and vibrant culture. This influx of tourists not only boosts the economy, but also fosters a greater understanding of Barbadian culture. Major attractions like the Crop Over Festival, historic Bridgetown, and, of course, the beaches are not just fun, they're educational. Tourism shapes national policies, ensuring that while Barbados shares its beauty with the world, it also preserves what makes it uniquely enchanting. It's about balancing the welcome mat with the conservation sign, ensuring that paradise remains just that for generations to come. Investing in mines is investing in the future, and Barbados takes this seriously. The island boasts an impressive education system characterized by high literacy rates and comprehensive educational policies that ensure access for all. Reforms and initiatives constantly evolve the educational landscape, preparing Barbadian students not only for local challenges but for global opportunities. Education in Barbados is more than just reading, writing, and arithmetic. It's about molding world citizens equipped to handle whatever the future holds. This commitment to education underscores a fundamental truth. The real treasure of a nation lies not in its soil or seas, but in its people and their potential. Barbados knows this well, and the investment pays dividends in a society that is informed, engaged, and ready to lead. From international pop icons like Rihanna to cricket legends like Sir Garfield Sober's Barbados has produced a disproportionate number of global stars for its size. These individuals carry their Bajan heritage with pride, influencing music, sports, and culture worldwide. Their successes highlight the global impact of Barbadian talent and serve as an inspiration to young Bajans everywhere. It's a reminder that no matter where you start, the world can be your stage and your roots always part of your story. This star-studded roster of Bajans shows the world the strength and creativity of this small island, proving that you can take the girl out of Barbados, but you can never take the Barbados out of the girl. As we wrap up our tour through Barbados's history, it's clear that this island is more than just a spot on the map. Its journey from indigenous roots through colonial chains to Caribbean freedom is a narrative of resilience, innovation, and spirit. Understanding Barbados's history is not just about adding to our collection of historical trivia. It's about learning from a society that has faced immense challenges and turned them into opportunities for growth and leadership. In today's world, where history often repeats itself, the lessons from Barbados are more relevant than ever. They teach us about the power of identity, the importance of cultural preservation, and the undeniable impact of small nations in the global narrative. So next time you sip a Bajan rum or groove to a Rihanna track, remember the rich history behind the rhythm and the spirit. Barbados might be small, but its story is mighty, and it's one we can all learn from. In Barbados, the past is always present, and the future is as bright as its sunniest day. Cheers to Barbados, where every grain of sand has a story, and every wave sings the songs of freedom. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more interesting videos.